look, anti-Semitism, it's incredible. You kill a bunch of Jews, people really get angry at Jews, right? That's really, especially, Jews fighting back. Fuck that. They don't like that, right? They get very angry. They got their stupid ideas of what's going on. See, ignorance or evil, right? Are they stupid and they don't know anything about it, or are they just anti-Semites, right? Bit of both, probably, right? That's what I think. Bit of both. There's this one. We'll look at this.
River to the sea, Palestine will be free.
Yeah, which river?
That's anti-Semitic. Which river?
Which river?
Which river?
Wait, I'm asking you, which river, which sea?
What's the point?
Because if you're chanting from the river to the sea, you have to know which river and sea you're talking about, right?
Yeah, I do. You're right.
So which river?
Right? Does it matter?
Yeah.
If we don't.
Yeah, because you're calling for my annihilation, you scum cunt. Yes, it matters, because without realizing it, you are calling for me to be destroyed. They are not looking to peacefully coexist with me. Yeah, it matters because you're saying kill me.
I don't even know, then what's the point of recording?
If you don't even, so you're writing messages that you don't know what they mean? Right? If you don't
to say something racist, even if I don't know what it means.
It's not racist.
You're saying I want to kill all the Jews over here, right? You were saying you want to kill all the Jews. That's what you say. That's not racist. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's anti-Semitic. But listen, if you don't know what it means, how can you say?
All right, my bad. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even talk to you. I'm sorry. We're not supposed to.
Well, you shouldn't have talked to him if he didn't want to look like a schmuck. I mean, that is true. I can't argue with you there. Oops, sorry, wrong thing. I cannot argue with you there. However, if you don't mind looking like a schmuck, there's no real problem with it. Now, saying, look, I don't hate Jews. I just hate Israel. Hey, let's examine that for a second, shall we?
The anti-Zionist logic for a second. I love Japanese people. I just hate Japan. I love Vietnamese people. I just hate Vietnam. I have no problem with French people. I just hate France. I love Indian people. I have no problem with Indian people, not at all. I just hate India and wish India didn't exist. No problem with Turkish people. We definitely don't hate Turkish people. We just hate Turkey. No problem with Greek people. We love Greek people. We just hate Greece. No problem with the Swiss. We just hate Switzerland. No problem with Portuguese people. We just hate Portugal. Love Norwegians. We just want to dismantle Norway. Love Jamaicans. We just hate Jamaica. Swedish people? Swedish people are great. We just hate Sweden.
It's just as like, and we're going to go into it with the reasons why. Why people just assume it's okay to hate Israel?
Filipinos? No problem. I have no problem with Filipinos. We just hate the Philippines. Jewish people? I don't have any problem with Jewish people. I just hate Israel. And I only hate Israel. Get it?
Yeah, look, here's the thing. Look, everybody hates seeing civilian casualties. So apart from Hamas, they love it. They freaking love seeing civilian casualties. In fact, the more the better. They are like, oh, these civilian casualties, they're actually making me erect with excitement, right? They literally love civilian casualties. They don't care. Oh, can I strap a few more babies onto me? I know I'm completely protected from any gunfire bomb blast by being surrounded by a vest of babies, right? But I still would like a few more. Because I love civilian casualties. Other than that, everybody hates seeing civilian casualties. People do not like it whatsoever. However, you get a lot less of them with the Israeli army than you do with the English army or the American army. I mean, the American army, I think in the Iraq campaign, Desert Storm, they were, for every 4 people killed, one of them was an enemy combatant, right? And that was actually an easier fighting terrain. Same with the UK. For every 4 people killed, one of them was so 3 civilians died for every enemy combatant. It's terrible in Israel too, right? For every civilian killed, there's one enemy combatant, but it's 3 times less than it is in England. But weirdly, you don't see angry marches every week saying, "From Jonah Gross to Land's End, England will be free of evil white people." Yes. Yeah, I mean, and they go, well, what's racist about that? Why would you? Well, there's an assumption, right? There's an assumption that it's okay to assume Israel is evil, to assume that Israel are Nazis, right? There's an absolute something, and then so that's how you end up with things like this. People thinking this is somehow socially acceptable, right? Where is this? There we go. Doink. Like, what the hell? That is insane. Well, I don't hate Jews. I just hate Israel. Yeah, exactly. No, I think you don't like Jews. So here's how this happened, right? Here's how I think this happened. 1948, there was this thing called the partition plan. They had one in India as well. That one worked out apparently even worse than this one. So according to Trish Chibnall's Doctor Who, which well, yeah, what does that really matter? But anyway, basically they were because the Arabs didn't want to live anywhere near Jews. We hate Jews, right? So we had to separate the Jews and the Arabs. And the Jew says, fine, that's great. It's much smaller than what we originally offered, but we'll take it because we're desperate. The Arab says, fuck you, we're going to kill you all, right? And they said, everybody get out of the way. All the civilians get away so we can just wipe out these filthy Jews, who we were the Palestinians at the time, by the way. But they didn't want to be called Palestinians because they were Jewish refugees. No, wipe out the dirty Jews and then everything will be fine. But then, amazingly, the much worse armed, right, the vastly military inferior Israel, right, idea, which had honestly, we had nothing. I'm going, we really had nothing. It's we had to like essentially borrow and steal and beg any supplies, right? And there was lots of shady deals, right? Because we weren't allowed to buy. We were meant to be wiped out, and we survived. So this is humiliating. And if you know anything about Arab culture, humiliation is bad. This is humiliating for the Arabs that they weren't able to wipe them out. So I think that's where this story came up with that we weren't fighting normal people. We were fighting insane, inhuman monsters, right? Insane, inhuman monsters that did the worst thing. And they projected, essentially, self-loathing. The Palestinians and they believe. So they were going over this some crowd up, right? And I here's the thing, because this is part of my knowledge base. I just assume everybody knows this. And I got to remember, no, you don't, right? No, you don't. You probably don't know this stuff. So we're going to watch a thing about Balfour. This is from Balfour's around in 2007, right? So most of these Hamas fighters that raped and murdered, this is what they were brought up on, right? So it's you have this character called Balfour, which was obviously let's see what other things they say. Do we see it?
Political ideology disguised as cuddly animals. The latest character to join the program is Asud the rabbit, and he comes with a backstory. The young viewers are told that Asud entered Gaza from Egypt after Hamas knocked down the border wall in January. The wooden key he wears round his neck, he says, is the key of return to reclaim Jerusalem from the Zionists.
Yeah, so again, I think there was this huge humiliation that this ragtag, basically useless force, fought off several well-armed armies. So they said, no, these are the worst people ever. They Zionists, they chased us from our homes, they raped us, they murdered us. And they did everything that we actually did on October 7th, right? We never did. but people believe it.
Zionists.
We educate our children about loyalty, love, understanding, and hard work.
And killing Jews.
Nothing more. We also teach them that we have lands stolen by the criminal Zionists.
Yeah, we also do. Anyway, so they had this guy called Falfour. Oh, yeah. 1 second. Is this the one that hates cats? This gets even
Zionists.
The rabbit replaces Nahul the bee, who gets his fun from tormenting cats and from throwing stones at a caged lion. The children get to watch Nahul's acts for several minutes before the show
fake cuddly animals torment a real living being for kicks. This is not nice.
Don't try this at home. But Nahul didn't leave the show because of his naughty behaviour. The young
He is a sleeping cat. I'm going to attack it. I mean, okay.
viewers are told that the cuddly bee died because the Israeli siege on Gaza prevented him from reaching a hospital.
Okay, so, again, people are brought up on this stuff. Literally. Jeremy Corbyn, for example.
The overtly political message and the use of violence has made the show controversial. But the programme makers are unapologetic about how they approach their younger audience.
We want to have children involved with the channel. And we can...
Again, and they literally raped and murdered 1,200 people recently.
About their reaction to our programs. So we have live shows to make sure that the message is relayed.
Oh yeah, so this is the best one, Falfour, right? Falfour is
perhaps the most famous
clone, and they were sued by Disney. So they ended up being killed by the evil Jewish principal, who's black for some reason. Okay.
Perhaps the most famous scene from the children's show, a Mickey Mouse lookalike being beaten to death by an Israeli. It could be a case of television imitating life. After all, death and violence lurk around every corner in Gaza. But there are concerns both inside
Wait, really? I mean, this was after we gave it back to you, right? This was well after 2005.
outside Palestine.
You see, that's what Al Jazeera, right? And that's the people who are in favour. So you know who grew up watching that? Jeremy Corbyn. Jeremy Corbyn grew up and he went, "Fuck me, that's all real. Every part of that is real. They killed Falfour. Those Israeli Zionist cunts. They killed Falfour," which led us to this piece of, I would call TV gold, right? I mean, absolute TV gold.
New anthology, Poetry for the Many, but they're rather unlikely anthologists, former Labour leader.
Yeah, okay, so you got Glenn McCluskey and Jeremy Corbyn. Right, we'll scoot forward a little bit.
Came to London on Saturday to march for peace in Gaza because they're appalled at what's happening there. And there were people there who wanted a ceasefire. There was
but what about the ones
placards there calling in the march?
Controversial march. From my point, I think a lot of people there are there for the right reasons. They're there because they genuinely.
They're there because they've been duped to by Hamas, right? Because they think there's an oppressed narrative.
That they want to have a ceasefire in Gaza and stop more people being killed. I understand that. But there are people there, and we've seen all the images all over social media, who are blatant anti-Semites and in some cases blatantly supporting Hamas. What do you feel about that?
Well, they weren't taking part in the march that was organised by PSC and Stop the War.
Well, they were there.
Well,
I love the way they go off the rules. Well, they weren't there with the people who organised. Well, they were there.
Well, they've been. I've seen the images.
The equivalent of the crowd of 10 Cup finals came to London on Saturday to march for peace in Gaza because they're appalled at what's happening there. And there were people there who wanted a ceasefire. There was
but what about...
When you say ceasefire, you mean surrender?
There were placards there calling for the release of.
I've already said that.
Calling for the release of.
I've acknowledged
hostages.
that. I'm concerned about the ones who were chanting "Death to the Jews," the ones who were wearing Hamas regalia, the ones who were chanting.
They should have been arrested by the police. Every protest that's ever.
So it's really weird. Glenn McCluskey here, right? He says everything that Corbyn's supposed to say, but refuses. He's there to say it, so Corbyn doesn't need to say it. It's so weird. So, well, obviously it should be. But this is, I find, their go-to retort. Well, obviously we condemn Hamas. Obviously we want the hostages. It goes without saying we want a hostage release. That's why we're not saying it, right? And if we do say it, it's certainly not to do with the fact that we will be beaten to death by this rabid hate mob. No. It just goes without saying that we want the. Sorry, mate, you got to say it.
Taken place in London, and I've been on many of them, always as a group of people there to cause trouble. They're normally dealt with by the police. Don't be asking Jeremy or the people who organised a perfect.
Don't be asking Jeremy. I mean, listen. Look, that's illegitimate criticism. No, it's very legitimate criticism. You these people are always like, well, legitimate criticism of Israel is an anti. Yeah, legitimate criticism of Jeremy Corbyn is an anti-Jeremy Corbynism.
Perfectly legitimate.
Why shouldn't I ask someone who's helped organise it?
No, he didn't help organise it.
Well, you just said he
was a
didn't.
speaker. He was a speaker.
All right, well, let me ask you this. So he's answered emphatically, should have been arrested. Do you agree?
If they're breaking the law and showing illegal signs, then obviously the police have to act.
So anybody
Wait,
who...
can I just be clear?
Let me just ask you a simple question.
You seem to be
Hang on,
over-concerned with
anti-Semitism.
No, I did not.
No, I didn't say anti-Semitism. Keep it yourself, mate. No, that didn't happen.
Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say that. What I was about to say was, you seem to be minimising the fact that 800,000 people, one of the very biggest demonstrations in our history.
Again, you had 300,000 people thronging through London, frothing at the mouth, screaming to wipe out Jews, plus a bunch of weedy liberals going, "Oh, isn't this peaceful?" I saw somebody say, "It's been very peaceful here today." Yeah, you will find if you were a Nazi at the Nuremberg rallies, you weren't that scared. If you're a Jew, you weren't so into it, right? Yeah, we'll skip forward a bit.
It was 307th. It is utterly inconceivable that Hamas remain in power in Gaza.
Right, so this is the first time we asked this question.
Inconceivable. They are a terror group like ISIS, and they have to be eliminated. The question then becomes, how do you get rid of them? Now, my question for you is, do you agree Hamas has to go?
Look, I don't support Hamas. I'm not a friend of Hamas. I don't agree.
You used to call them friends.
No, hang on.
We did.
Karen, let's get this clear.
We did.
He lies through his arse here. I should pull up the video footage. Yeah, he said, but I'm going to skip forward because he lied. He said, it was just, I just said, the representative from Hamas had left in this thing I was invited to. And I just said, in a normal collegiate way, where's our friends from Hamas? That's not what he said at all. He went on to complain, he said, my good friends from Hezbollah, my good friends from Hamas. And he went on to complain that Hamas was labeled a terrorist organization. Right? So, bullshit. It was also recorded, right?
Why don't you instead concentrate on
You think people supporting Hamas is tittle-tattle? My friend from Hamas. No, you might have changed, Jeremy. You might have changed your mind.
No, Piers,
which you're perfectly entitled to do.
Piers,
and my understanding is you do now regret what you said.
You are obsessed with tittle-tattle of politics. Or something that happens 10 years ago. Why don't you instead?
Why don't you just okay, Jeremy? All you got to do is say you're not friends with Hamas. That's all you got to say, right?
Think people supporting Hamas is tittle-tattle.
Let me finish. Give me a chance.
Really?
Give me a chance. Let me finish. How do you think people in Palestine feel under occupation? How do you think it's like? What it's like?
I know how they feel.
Keep in mind. Jeremy Corbyn believes that Falfa was killed by an Israeli. Just that he's like that's what's driving him now.
Up with a soldier outside your house. I think. How do you feel? How would you feel?
Well, can I answer?
If your land was being taken.
Can I answer?
Put in. How would you feel if your children were being?
He just wants to filibuster, right? So wait. Where's there's a bit where he pulls up a clip from Clinton, which is a fan. He said, "Oh, it could end if just Israelis reduce the got out of Palestine." That's what's Palestine. It's all of it. You fucking cunt. Hang on, but this is great bit from Clinton over here, where he says, can I find it? Where is it? It was about 8 minutes in. Hang on. Wait. Hang on. Because I got it over here.
As opposed to the Hamas government and the people with guided missiles. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. No, wait a minute. Yes, they were. And Hamas is really smart. When they decide to rocket Israel, they insinuate themselves in the hospitals, in the schools, in the highly populous areas, and they are smart. So they try.
Yeah, no, there's no rocket launchers coming out from hospitals or so. Yeah, no, Bill Clinton just told you that, mate.
So they wait. So they try to put the Israelis in a position of either not defending themselves or killing innocents. They're good at it. They're smart. They've been doing this a long time. Look, I don't agree. I killed myself to give the Palestinians a state. I had a deal they turned down that would have given them all of Gaza, all of Gaza, between 96 and 97% of the West Bank, compensating land in Israel, you name it.
Right, and they turned it down. 96%.
You have a situation where Hamas now represents an existential threat to Israel. And they've repeated it last week. Their spokesman from Hamas repeatedly said when he was challenged, we want to do this again and again.
And yeah, Corbyn's such an idiot because they could have moved onwards if he just said, yes, Hamas needs to go. I am not.
Do you believe?
Well, let me ask Jeremy a question.
Come on,
Look,
can we?
I want to come back to this thing about what do you do with Hamas? Do you keep them in power?
Israel is claiming it is.
Not from him.
Yeah, he agrees with the Israeli government.
No, you wouldn't answer. I said, would you keep Hamas in power? You wouldn't answer.
They wouldn't be in power.
Again, it's so transparent. Let him answer for himself. And he just won't do it. It's incredible.
Speak for him. It's not a puppet show. It's not a puppet show, Len.
It's not a puppet show.
He's allowed to answer for himself.
Of course he is.
Well, let him answer.
The reality is...
Let him answer, Len. Don't talk for Jeremy Corbyn.
All you want to do is bully people.
Who am I bullying?
Look, he's asking for you to answer the question.
Bullying constant.
There's two of you.
Okay.
Of course.
One's run a party in the country. One's run a major union. Are you really feeling bullied, Len?
I'm not.
Do me a favour.
I'm not.
Do me a bloody favour. Do me a bloody favour.
I'm not.
Let me come back to Jeremy Corbyn, if I may, without you speaking for him.
Can I put it this way?
Would you get rid of Hamas?
Can I say
something? You can answer my question.
No, can I say something?
Would you get rid of Hamas?
Listen, can I say
something? He just won't say it. It's incredible. All right, let's go forward with it. It really is incredible. He just refuses to say it.
Well, you refuse to answer my question, and he keeps trying to answer it for you.
No, I'm going to ask you a question.
No, I'm not going to ask me a question, Len. It's not your show. It's mine. And I keep asking you the same question. Would you keep Hamas in power?
What I said was there has to be a ceasefire. A ceasefire has to be both sides. That ceasefire will then hopefully develop into a longer-term peace.
Well, you think Israel can do...
Hang on a minute.
You think Israel can do peace with Hamas?
Israel has been talking to Hamas for 20 years.
You think they can do peace with them after October the 7th?
They've been listen, October the 7th was abominable and appalling. That we're agreed.
And you think Israel can do peace with people that did that?
I managed to get two sentences in between.
I mean, it's a one-syllable answer. He refuses. It's incredible.
Because you won't answer my question.
Look, if you want to have a discussion, fine.
Answer my question.
If you want to just shout at me, that's your prerogative, your TV, your show.
Should Hamas stay in power?
Listen, what I said was a ceasefire means a ceasefire. It means...
Jeremy, answer the fucking question. That's not what he's asking you. He don't know. What do you think? Should there be a ceasefire? Tell me what your thoughts are there. No, answer his question.
Because both sides have to cease fire.
Yeah.
It means you then...
No, you said that. Should Hamas stay in power? It's actually
you done yet?
It's actually a critical question.
Are you done yet?
It's a critical question.
Are you done yet?
No, it's the question.
Are you done yet?
Should they stay in power?
Are you done yet?
This country says they're a terror group. Do you agree? And should they stay in power?
Listen, I do not approve, support, or welcome Hamas.
Are they a terror group?
Everybody knows what they are.
Are they a terror group?
I know. He won't know. Everybody knows. So tell me what. Just say it. Jesse, he must be getting so much money from them.
Piers,
can you say it?
Piers,
I'm sorry to linger on it, but this is freaking awesome. I'm sorry. I love watching him squirm.
Can we have a discussion?
Can you say it?
Can we have a discussion?
Can you call them a terror group? Jeremy?
Can we have a discussion?
Can you call them a terror group?
Is it possible to have a rational discussion?
Are you
with
prepared to call Hamas a terror group?
Is it possible to have a rational discussion with you? Is it possible? Come on, answer that question.
You can't, can you?
You answer it.
It's like he really can't say it.
No, it's my show. You answer my question.
Well,
are Hamas a terror group?
Listen, can I?
Are they a terror group?
Piers, can I speak?
Answer the question.
Can I speak?
Are they a terror group?
Piers.
No.
Can I just filibuster and say anything other than the answer to the question?
If you let me speak,
are they a terror group?
If you'll let me speak, I'll say something.
Go on then.
A ceasefire means both sides.
Okay, fifth time he said that.
Are they a terror group?
Listen, I said that because
are they a terror
is
group?
Part of the process.
Are they a terror group?
Can we?
Why can't you say it,
Piers? Can we go through what ought to be happening?
Just answer my question.
Why can't he say it? I mean, that is a good question.
Why do you think
are Hamas a terror group
in the world are calling for a ceasefire?
Are Hamas a terror group?
Come on, answer that. Give it to me.
No, it's not your show.
You've got so many opinions.
Why should I answer yours when you won't answer mine?
Why do you give out your opinions all day and every day?
Are Hamas?
You don't like it.
That's what they pay him for that. That's his job. People like that, and they don't like you.
Are Hamas a terror group? Yes or no?
You won't like it when somebody pushes back on you. What I've said is...
I've asked you two questions. Should Hamas stay in power and are they a terror group? You're refusing to answer either of them. That is very telling. And you wonder,
it's not very telling
why people think you had a problem with Jewish people.
At all.
Right?
What is very
you wonder.
telling is your...
One of the greatest TV spankings of all time. For one of the biggest cunts. Oh, it's so deserved. Keep going there, please.
To keep quiet for 30 seconds to allow anybody to answer a question.
On my show, I ask people questions.
You shout at people.
Normally, they answer them.
You shout at people.
No, only when they won't answer the question.
No, you shout at people all the time.
You've deliberately not answered my question.
Piers, I've explained to you how to get rid of Hamas.
Are they a terror group, Len?
Of course.
Thank you. Why can't you say that?
Hang on. Hang on.
You've answered it. Should they stay in power, Len?
But do you...
Should they stay in power?
No, they won't be in power.
Do you believe they should?
They won't be in...
But do you believe they should?
They won't be in power.
Do you believe they should?
They won't... I don't believe...
Okay, so you've answered my question.
Again, like, normal people can do it. It's not like... It's insane.
I believe...
It's not that difficult to say Hamas should go and they're a terror group. Why can't you, Jeremy Corbyn, answer the questions?
Ask something about the behaviour of the Israeli army and the Israeli government.
Again, he would have gone on to that many times over had you got over the first fucking hurdle. Okay, but as you brought up the Israeli government and the actions of the Israeli army, maybe we'll look at a bit of that, shall we? Firstly, we keep hearing that Gaza is open air prison. This is what Gaza actually looks like, right? Well, before the 7. I'm not kidding you. I thought this was a joke. This is actually real. This is Gaza. The open air, again, recent year. This is the open air prison that is Gaza. Oh, the humanity. How can they live like this? And it could be even better. Everybody in it could be rich. So that's Gaza, right? Before October 7th, obviously. The only people looking after the Gazans literally is the IDF, right? It's genuine. It's only them. They've created a civilian corridor. When they provide. Hey, look.
Doctor.
right, this does look a bit set up, okay? Although I kind of believe it because I know on the ground that, look, it's all built around the idea that Jews are evil, right? And Jews are they're doing to the Palestinians what the Palestinians would actually like to do to Jews, right? It's all projection. Everything you hear about Israel is projection from the Arabs and projection of self-loathing, I would say. So hey, I'm going to end up with this one last thing, and then we'll get to the chat. We'll get some Doctor Who stuff. And there's a lot of Doctor Who stuff we want to get to. But I think this really nailed it on the head quite well. But I think that was wonderful, by the way, Jeremy Corbyn.
Seconds of insight, damned if you do and damned if you don't. That is the current situation that Israel is at. Whether we win or lose, we are wrong. Where does that come from? A lot of it comes from old blind hatred towards Jewish people and anti-Semitism. But there is a large population in the West that actually believes that because Israel is strong, then we must be wrong. Now, besides for rhyming, there is no sense in that. And they also claim that because the Palestinians are weak, they must be right. Now, it definitely is true in certain cases, but when the weak commits crimes against humanity, when the weak uses its own civilians as human shields, and when the weak murders blindly innocent children and mothers, well, let me tell you something. The weak is big time wrong, and the strong is big time right. Don't forget that.
Indeed, do not forget that. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.